We are observing Purushotam VRATA in Brihanaradiya Puran. Shri Krishna told to Narayan in front of excrement. Aham etair yatha loke pratitah Purushottama tathayam api lokeshu pratitah Purushottama. Asmai samarpitah sarve ye gunamai samstita mat sadrishyam upagamya masanamadipo bhavet. Jagat pujyo jagat vandyo masoyam tu bhavishyati. Sarve masah sakamascha nishkamayam maya krita. Akamah sarva kamovayo dhima samprapujayet. Karmani bhasmasat kritva mam evaishyati asankshayam. Kadachin mama bhaktanam aparadeti ganyate Purushottama bhaktanam na parada kadachana. Ya etasmin mahamura japa dan adi varjita sat karma snan rahita deva tirta dvija dvisha. Jayante durbhaga dushtah para bhagyopajivana na kadachit sukham teshan swapne pishasha shringavat. Yenaham archito bhaktyamassesmin purushottame dhan putra sukham bhunktva paschad golokavasa bhak. Hey Ramapati, that is Narayan, Ramapati, just as I am celebrated in this world by the name Purushotam, similarly these Adimas too will be renowned in the world by the name Purushotam. Now I offer all my qualities to this month. Becoming like me from today onwards, this Adimas is the monarch of all the other months and is the most worshipable and most adored in the world. All other months are Sakama, that is, they will grant worldly desires. This month, however, is Nishkama. Those who worship this month, either without any desires or with all types of desires, will have all their karmas burned. Then they will achieve me. My bhaktas sometimes commit offenses, but in this Purushottam month they will be protected from committing any offense. In this Adimas, those greatly foolish persons who neglect to perform auspicious activities such as japa, giving in charity, visiting and bathing at the holy places, and who are envious of the Dvijas are deemed wicked, unfortunate, and living at the cost of others. Dvijas means twice born. One is by seminal birth, another is by initiation. So Brahmanas, they are twice born because they are initiated into Gayatri. So those who don't worship, thus they will not attain ascent of happiness, even in their dreams. Conversely, those who are filled with bhakti will take advantage of this Purushottam month to perform archan to me. After enjoying worldly happiness such as wealth, sons and so on, they will eventually attain residence in Goloka. And we are hearing Srimad Bhagavatam Brahmastava. We heard this verse yesterday. My dear Lord Krishna, until people become your devotees, their material attachments and desires remain thieves. Their homes remain prisons, and their affectionate feelings for their family members remain foot shackles. We already heard the commentary by disciples of Srila Sai Maharaj. Today we will hear Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur's, but also it was interesting. Yesterday we had a guest here, Srila Bhakti Sharan Paramarthi Maharaj and Srila Bhakti Alok Tapasi Maharaj and Brajendra Prabhu, they were here. So I did not request them to explain Brahmastava because in different months they are having different ways of observing this Purushottaman, so we had it before. But automatically, it was by Krishna's desire, I saw it like that. Yesterday Maharaj was speaking this topic. This verse which we read yesterday, Maharaj was speaking this topic. That, without mentioning the verse, but the point was that moha means illusion, and specifically moha means to think other people and things as mine, and that will bind you. And you will not be like a free bird in the sky. Bird is meant to fly in the sky freely, not to be in the cage. Like that, when Jiva, we are in illusion, then we are like that bird in a cage. We can never be happy. And Maharaj also gave one example given by Prabhupada, how there is a long story. Ultimately, the king's daughter's husband was tied by king by golden chain as a punishment, and the minister's daughter's husband tied as means with silver chain, and the watchman or gatekeeper daughter's husband by iron. So though it is they are differently chained by different golden, but all are chained, all are bound. Like that, we are all bound by this misconception that he is mine, this is my wife, this is my husband, this is my car, this is my house, these are my children, this, all this. So when we are in this, that is Maya, illusion, and we are always bound, and we cannot be happy actually. But by coming in contact with bona fide sadhu and accepting Nama Sankirtan, means he will tell us about what is our real identity, to whom we are really related, and when we will worship Krishna by Nama Sankirtan, chanting the holy name under his guidance, then we can become free from this illusion, and we can ultimately attain residence in our home, back home, back to Godhead, in Golok Vrindavan. So this point is also here, Brahma is telling, if someone is not a devotee, is not in Krishna consciousness, means is not seeing everything as related to Krishna, but he thinks. So one who is not Krishna conscious means he's not a devotee. He will, for him, this will be there. Material attachments and desires will be like thieves. Always they will steal energy from you and will not give you satisfaction, and their homes remain prisons. Why? Because they think this is mine. But real devotee thinks this is Krishna's house. Everything is his. And their affectionate feelings for their family members, these are my children, my all this, remain foot shackles, means you are bound. Like, you know, in prison, they have that iron chain on the ankles with something, and then there is one big iron ball, so you cannot move freely. You are bound. So we are like that, those jivas who are in illusion. So Maharaj spontaneously, this topic yesterday came. Immediately I felt, yes, this is Krishna's desire, Purushotam's desire, because I intentionally did not request them. But anyhow, this topic came, and it was really interesting that just yesterday we read this particular verse with this point. And same point Maharaj was explaining yesterday very nicely. Paramarthi Maharaj. Tapasi Maharaj was speaking some other topic, devotional practices like this. And Brajendra, he narrated one. The point was that there was one strict sadhu who was speaking Harikatha, and Narayan even came to hear him in this world. Then Lakshmi also wanted, I'm telling very in short. So Lakshmi also came, and ultimately Lakshmi invited him to Vaikuntha. Narayan also was requesting because Lakshmi wanted, so they took him to Vaikuntha, and then Lakshmi wanted to feed him, but he refused. Then she became angry, and like, why he's not wanting? I already cooked so much. Then Sadhu said, did you ask me if I want to eat? You did not ask me, you yourself cooking, I will not accept. So Lakshmi became angry and cursed that sadhu. And then that he will not get any, when he will go begging for prasad, he will not get chapati with ghee, but only dry chapati. Then he, sadhu, also cursed Lakshmi. You will be born as a low-born in this world, low family. So first Lakshmi was born as a queen first, but her father wanted to marry her to one, and for marriage party he wanted to kill 100 goats to feed the guests. So she did not like this. So she, in the night, released those goats. And also when they were in that one pilgrimage, bathing, she went into Ganga in Kumbh Mela and gave up her life. She did not want to be related to her father. She escaped. Then next life she became Shabari. She's very famous devotee in Ramayana because her guru gave her initiation. Although she was a tribal lady, but others did not approve of this, but he knew her heart that she is a real devotee, and he also told her, Ramchandra will come to you. So she was cleaning a pathway and everything every day, expecting Ramachandra to come on that day. So this she was doing many years, 80 years, until finally Ramachandra came and he blessed her, and then she went to Ayodhya. Means after that birth she again became Lakshmi. And the point was that these other disciples of that sadhu, they were proud of their sadhana. I'm doing this much fasting, I'm doing this, and they were proud. So they all thought, Ramachandra, if he will come, he will first come to me. But they were wrong. Ramachandra went searching for Shabari because he knows about her devotion. And another one lila he made with that lake in Pure to show the glory of real devotees. So Brajendra told that we should not have any false pride, but should be humble. Then we can actually do bhajan. We can receive the mercy of Sadhu, Guru, Vaishnava, Bhagavan, and we can do seva. Otherwise, with that false ego, that will not be seva. So here also we were hearing, Brahma admitted this. I had this ahankar. I had this false ego, that I am the creator of this world, and I could not respect you, Krishna. I thought you were some ordinary cowherd boy. That was due to my false ego. So then when Brahma surrendered, then by Krishna's grace he could recognize, and now in apology mood he's offering these prayers. Please forgive me, we're hearing many verses. So these points were there. So Bishwanath Chakravarti Thakur is explaining in this verse for this verse. Here Lord Krishna may protest. The sannyasis will object that the inhabitants of Braja, who are all householders, have fallen into a network of material life, bound by attachment to wife, children, and the host of other persons and things. Brahma replies, yes, that is true for most materialistic grihastas. However, what to speak of the householders of Braja? Even your ordinary devotees in other places are superior to these sannyasi critics. Attachment, hatred, and other material emotions are great thieves because they steal the great treasure of pure bliss from the soul. Yes. So you have certain processes how to release these emotions, or if they are suppressed, or like in subconsciousness, like this, some processes there, you can, because they may produce certain diseases also. They are thieves. They may produce diseases, they make you unhappy and all these things. So there are many processes, but those processes may give you some relief from those problems, up to like temporary liberation you can get. But as long as your full ego is there, then again this will be produced. All the time this will be there newly, because the root cause is not removed. Root causes, we are averse to Krishna, and then we come under false ego. So unless we become inclined to serve Krishna and realize our real identity, that will continue going on. You may get relief, but again you will produce new one. So if you want permanent relief and permanent bliss, then you have to serve Krishna. That will temporarily help you. The rebellious souls are bound by their karma, placed in the prison cell of household life, and tied with foot shackles to a host of illusions, so that they cannot criticize the Supreme Lord after having lost their wealth. O Krishna, as long as people do not get the mercy of your devotees and become your followers, they remain in this position. Yesterday, Srila Tapasi Maharaj was mentioning this, that it is written in Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu of Rupa Goswami that even those who are Mayavadis, if they come in contact with pure devotee who is tasting bliss, then that bliss will also touch that Mayavadi and he can feel that ecstasy. So that is why this sadhu sangha is so important. Then he was asking which of the 5 limbs of devotional service is most important of 5. Sadhu Sangha Nama Kirtan, Bhagavat Shravan, Shraddha Shrimurtir Sevam, Mathuravas. Then one devotee said Sadhu Sangha. Then Maharaj was looking at me and I said the most important is Nama Sankirtan, but first you have to get Sadhu Sangha. Then Maharaj smiled and agreed, yes, it is like this, because without Sadhu Sangha you cannot know how to properly chant Harinam for the satisfaction of Krishna. So both are important. Sadhu Sangha first, then Nama Sankirtan is there. And other things also in Sadhu Sangha is there. Bhagavat Shravan, hearing of Bhagavatam, Murti, Seva, all these things. In this way he was explaining. So here Brahma also telling that unless the people get, as long as people do not get the mercy of your devotees and become your followers, they remain in this position. They are bound by illusion. However, when they become your devotees, they develop attachment for bhakti and aversion to things obstructing bhakti, and then they repose all their love in you. In this way, the thieves of material attraction, hatred, and love become sanctified by becoming fixed in you, and then help the devotee by giving him spiritual bliss, knowledge, and a host of advantages. Devotee will realize that his actual eternal loving relation is with Krishna. He is the object of all love. He will be fixed in this, and this fixation also means he will see all other jivas in relation to Krishna. So he will behave with them appropriately in a loving relation to Krishna. He has his relation is loving relations to Krishna, and all in relation to him. So his affection for other jivas, mercy, and all these things, they are not outside of love of Krishna. That is all included in the service of Krishna, but that is particular type of relationship with all other jivas and all other things. So in that way, the same home, which was formerly a prison cell, created by favorable and unfavorable karmic reactions, becomes for your devotee a place filled with service to you by hearing and chanting your glories and a host of other activities meant to please you. Devotee will see this is Krishna's house, and in that house he will serve Krishna by all different services and hearing and chanting and inviting Vaishnavas, serving Vaishnavas, all deity, form of Krishna. These activities carry one to your eternal abode. Thus, when a devotee awakens his affection for you, then the bewilderment, moha, this is what this Paramarthi Maharaj yesterday was mentioning, moha, bewilderment, from objects such as his wife and sons becomes a cause for expressing anubhavas, his prema for you. Such as his wife and sons become a cause of expressing his prema for you. How can householders like this be compared to ordinary sannyasis? When one has love for Krishna, he has love for all in relation to Krishna. So how he behaves with others, family members, others, that is a part of his loving Krishna. That is why here Brahma is telling they become becomes a cause for expressing his prema for you. How can householders like this be compared to ordinary sannyasis? Such householders who are pure devotees are far superior than jnani sannyasis. They want to renounce everything. Outwardly you will see they are very renounced, but outwardly householders, they seem like attached. Like we have example, Durvasa Rishi, sannyasi, Brahmin. So he thought Ambarish Maharaj disrespected me because of his attachment to worldly things. He is in false ego and he thinks I'm the owner of whole world. I can do whatever I like. So why I will respect sannyasi? That was a wrong assumption by Durvasa Rishi. Ambarish Maharaj was not householder like that. He was a pure devotee householder. He saw everything in relation to Krishna. So Narayan had to explain to Durvasa, don't think about Ambarish like this. He gave everything to me. He's a pure devotee and I'm also bound by his love. I'm not independent. I cannot rescue you. You have to go to Ambarish Maharaj if you want to be rescued. So ultimately Durvasa had to go there to Ambarish Maharaj to beg forgiveness. And Ambarish Maharaj did not think that Durvasa did anything wrong. So there was no question of forgiving him. But he was praying to Sudarshan Chakra to release him, and because he wanted to feed him. So then Durvasa Rishi understood about the glory of devotee. He may be in household life also, but he's a pure devotee. But that does not mean that every householder is a pure devotee. Pure devotee is very rare. Also does not mean that every sannyasi is necessarily a pure devotee. They may be practitioner, householders also practitioner, but those who are pure devotees, they are topmost and they are worshipable by all. My son, Sanat Kumar, Brahma is saying, criticizes the non-devotee sannyasis and praises the superiority of devotee householders in Srimad Bhagavatam, 4th canto. Krichro Mahan Iha Bhavarnavam Aplavesham Sat Varga Nakram Asukena Titir Shanti. The ocean of nescience is very difficult to cross because it is infested with many dangerous sharks. Although those who are non-devotees undergo severe austerities and penances to cross that ocean, we recommend that you simply take shelter of the lotus feet of the Lord, which are like boats for crossing the ocean. Although the ocean is difficult to cross, by taking shelter of his lotus feet, you will overcome all dangers. So this is the main point, to take shelter of Krishna and serve him. Not by these austerities and penances that you can be rescued. The residents of Braja have thousands of times more love for you than householders who live in other places. Though you are the Purna Brahma, that is complete reality, complete absolute or ultimate truth, you show yourself as dependent upon these Premika Bhaktas by taking the form of their son, friend or lover to become their submissive servant. Such love they have that even Krishna becomes submissive. Then next verse. Prapancham nishprapanchopi vidambayasi bhutale prapanna janatananda sandoham pratitum prabho. My dear master, although you have nothing to do with material existence, you come to this earth and imitate material life just to expand the varieties of ecstatic enjoyment for your surrendered devotees. Commentary by disciples of Srila Sai Maharaj. Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur points out that just as a lamp does not seem to shine as brightly in sunlight as it does in the shade, or as a diamond does not seem as brilliant on a silver platter as it does on a plate of blue glass, the Lord's pastimes as Govinda do not seem as amazing in the transcendental abode of Vaikuntha as they do within the material realm of Maya. Lord Krishna comes to the earth and acts towards his pure devotees exactly like a devoted son, boyfriend, husband, father, friend, and so on. And within the darkness of material existence, these brilliant, liberated pastimes give unlimited ecstasy to the surrendered devotees of the Lord. In his Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Srila Prabhupada quotes Lord Brahma as follows: I can also understand that your appearance as a small cowherd boy, a child of the cowherd man, is not at all a material activity. You are so much obliged by their affection that you are here to enthuse them with more loving service by your transcendental presence. Then, direct commentary by Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur. Some think that the Purna Brahma, becoming the son of Nanda Maharaj in Braja, cannot be real or absolute, and that the devotees who accept this are in illusion. The Mayavadis think like this, that when that impersonal Brahma, he appears in this world taking some material form, like son of Nanda Maharaj, that is not real or absolute. That is Saguna Brahman, Brahman in a pot. Still better than other jivas, so you can worship, but that is not ultimate reality. It is also Mayic, but on Vidya platform. That will help you for liberation. In reply to this, Brahma recites this verse: though you are always beyond the influence of material nature, you are ever situated within the material world. You assume forms and relationships similar to those found in the material world, but your relationships are not false and temporary like those of material fathers and sons. Your forms and relationships are completely transcendental and eternally existing. Though your pastimes are eternal and transcendental, they appear similar to material activities. Outwardly we may see like this, but inside substance is different. Here we are all exploiting each other. But these pastimes are, devotees are really loving Krishna, serving Krishna for his satisfaction, and Krishna is also serving them. Substance is totally different. Why do you need to imitate material activities? You appear in the material world to further increase the bliss that your devotees taste from relishing your pastimes. Just as a lamp does not shine as brightly in sunlight as it does in the shade, or as a diamond does not look as brilliant on a silver platter as it does on a plate of blue glass, Govinda's pastimes do not appear as astonishing in Vaikuntha as they do in the material world. One time in our daily mat, our Gurudev was answering question to one devotee. In that reply, Gurudev told that once Narad also saw this. He can go everywhere. So when he came to this earth and he saw Braja Lila happening in this earth, when Krishna appears here, he saw these are even more beautiful than those in Golok Vrindavan. Golok Vrindavan is in eternal abode up. There Ashtakalya Lila is always going on. So that Golok Lila will appear in this world, but Narad saw it is more beautiful. Why? Because like diamond in sunlight does not shine as bright as it does in darkness. So this dark material world, when Krishna appears, his lila is more beautiful. So Narad wanted to do bhajan here in this world. Gopakumar also did bhajan. So it is a special thing. Also, when Jiva, by sadhana, will attain Swarup Siddhi, realization of his real self, then after quitting this material body, first he will be transferred to that material universe where Krishna Lila is manifested there. And he will enter into that Lila and serve under the guidance of his superior servants. And when Krishna will wind up that pastime and go back to Goloka, then the devotee will also go there for Ashtakalya Lila. And Krishna can do pastimes in this world simultaneously and in Golok Vrindavan also simultaneously. He is doing. It is not that when Krishna descends to this world and Goloka is empty. There also going on, and in this world also going on. Krishna is unlimited. He is supreme. This verse is very famous. Next one. Jananta eva janantu kim bahuktya name prabho manaso vapusho vacho vaibhavam tava gochara. There are people who say, I know everything about Krishna. Let them think that way. As far as I am concerned, I do not wish to speak very much about this matter. O my Lord, let me say this much. As far as your opulences are concerned, they are all beyond the reach of my mind, body, and words. Here, in commentary, this translation is quoted from Srila Prabhupada's Chaitanya Charitamrita, Madhya Lila, chapter 21, text 27. Bhishana Chakravarti Thakur commentary. Here, Shri Krishna might say, O Brahma, if this is all true, then please tell me how many wise philosophers are there like you who can so brilliantly explain everything about my transcendental form, my Braja devotees, my pastimes, and my devotional service? Fearing that Shri Krishna might say this, Brahma then speaks this verse with shame, fear, and repentance. Brahma says, I am of that category. I am the greatest fool. Krishna protests, if that is so, then why have you spoken all these words? Brahma replies, Kim Bahuktya, what is the use of all my words? Speaking too much in your presence is simply a sign of my foolishness. Krishna says, my dear Brahma, you are trying to cheat me with your words. Brahma says, although I have meditated on them, my mind has no power to understand your opulences. My eyes cannot grasp your transcendental form, and my words cannot describe you. As I said previously in verse 7, who can possibly count your unlimited transcendental qualities? Another meaning is, I cannot grasp the powers of your mind with my senses. How then could I possibly understand the happiness you experience within yourself? That was in second verse. I cannot understand anything about your body or any of your words, which are the Vedas. Indeed, when you are standing before me silently, I cannot speak even a word. In your presence, persons like me are totally insignificant. Here, our Gurudev explained that there are some people who are puffed up. They think that by their intellect and by reading scriptures like this, they may proudly claim, I know about Krishna. But if someone has such pride, it proves that he does not know anything about Krishna. If one got a real connection with Krishna, real glimpse, real realization of Krishna, then he cannot but be humble. Because Krishna is unlimited, big, and his master, so devotee will feel unlimitedly infinitesimal, very small in relation to Krishna and always dependent on him. And that because Krishna is unlimited, there is no end to realizing him. Whatever we may realize about him, that is not final. It can never be final. So devotees are always humble. They never have that vanity, that pride. I know, I caught Krishna in my fist. I know everything about him. That real devotee can never say. They are always very humble. So here Brahma also said, there are some who claim this. Let them say. I don't want to say much about this. Let them say if they want. As far as I am concerned, I could not recognize you. You are beyond my mind, words, and body. And this is always when devotee, he will progress. The more he will progress in realization to Krishna, the more he will realize that Krishna is unlimited and that he cannot have any pride for any of his realization, and is always humble. He will always say, I don't know. Like Srila Bhakti Pramod Puri Gosai Maharaj. Whoever came to him with such questions, first he answered, Baba, I don't know. Then he started to explain. Then all were astonished what he is speaking. Pure devotee, from direct from realization, but always he was humble because real connection. First reply always, Baba, I don't know. If someone has this, I know everything, then you can know that maybe he may have much scriptural knowledge. He memorized many shlokas and he's maybe very intelligent like this, but no practical realization if you observe this pride in him. So Brahma here is speaking this. Tomorrow we'll further hear. Only 2 more verses are there.